Congrats to Pete Carroll.
Yeah, Pete.
Pete Carroll has been named the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. This seems like the worst kept secret in football over the last few days. Our circles were telling us that. The internet was saying that Pete Carroll had a chance. Michael Lombardi, who I believe was speaking to Tom Brady throughout this entire process. Tom Brady leading the charge on the interviews of the head coach and the GM. GM spy tech from Tampa. When Tom was down there, got to know each other well. Pete Carroll is a guy that gives them immediate legitimacy. Now, he's 73 years old. It was a 3-year deal with a 4th-year team option. He'd be 76 at the time, 77 at the time. Anybody that's ever been around Pete Carroll, though, says, this guy's like a 40-year-old, man. This guy's like a 30-year-old. His energy is off the charts. And if you do recall, he was kicked out of the Seattle Seahawks organization. He didn't know he was going to get fired whenever he got fired last year after last offseason. He walked in there and he said, I fought like hell. I competed for my job to lay out how I think I could right the ship with this Seahawks team. So whenever he gets abruptly kicked out of the Seattle Seahawks organization, I think he had to figure out what the hell he was going to do for a year. Then his name started getting mentioned, Chicago Bears maybe. Jerry Jones allegedly been calling Pete Carroll. And we believe football guys are going to remain football guys. Doesn't matter if you're 73, doesn't matter if you're 63, doesn't mean if you're 103. I think Pete Carroll knows exactly what to do. He's won a college national championship. He's won a Super Bowl championship. This guy knows ball, and also,
Oh, yeah.
he can spin it.
He's got a gun.
There's videos of him in his 70s working with the scout team, throwing balls, no-look throws. His energy is contagious. The way he goes about doing his thing, we all recognize and understand. He's going to bring a positivity, a competitive mindset, and hopefully the Raiders back into relevancy, which is all anybody could hope for in the NFL, because when the Raiders are good, the NFL is better. I love that Tom Brady made this pick. I love that this is where the Raiders are headed. They're going to need a quarterback now.
Yep.
Is Russell Wilson,
who
just spoke glowingly of Pete Carroll on our program the other day, who's potentially a free agent going forward, going to reunite with Pete Carroll, even though the way it ended wasn't how anybody would have expected or wanted. We shall see. I love the Pete Carroll hire in Las Vegas, and Tom Brady didn't want to do a brand new guy to find out if he's going to be a head coach. I want to know what we're getting. Pete Carroll, you know exactly what you're getting, con man.
Yeah, and it's like another culture hire. Like for New England with Vrabel, this is the same exact thing with Pete Carroll. A building that's kind of been turned over, twice in the last 2 years, basically. You could argue 3 times in the last 2 years, but this is awesome. And then, the division itself is asinine. The fact that it's Harbaugh, Carroll, Peyton, Reed, 3 of those 4 have won Super Bowls. Jim Harbaugh's been to a Super Bowl, also a national champion in college. Like, all these guys know how to win. I mean, you could easily make the argument this is now the toughest division in football with Pete Carroll, if he's able to turn around the Raiders, which I think we all believe he is.
I mean, the NFC East has 2 teams in the conference championship, so obviously we have to pay them respect. But whenever you look at this murderer's row of great coaches in the AFC West, you have to have the conversation. Now, everybody's chasing the big one on the far right. Everyone's chasing. Now, this is kind of what happened, when the Patriots are doing their thing, they just murdered the AFC East. A lot of change in all those other places. Well, if the Patriots are able to do it, how come we're not able to do it? In the AFC South, when Peyton Manning and the boys were running the Colts, a lot of turnover trying to chase it. Now, you see these 3 other teams trying to catch up to the Chiefs, 3 other teams with opportunity, and you go down, Jim Harbaugh, we love him. We absolutely love him.
The man.
Got a quarterback. Sean Payton, we love him. Absolutely love him. Got a quarterback.
Yep.
Andy Reid, we love him. Got a quarterback. The only thing Pete Carroll doesn't have is a quarterback over there in Las Vegas. I'll be eager to see what they decide to do. Go ahead, Tone.
Because of his age, do you think we should pay attention to who the OC and DC hires are to see if, maybe during his interview process there was a potential succession plan? Like, hey, after I have someone in mind who I think would be a great head coach moving forward after my 3 or 4 years, do you think that could have potentially been part of the interview process because of his age? I was just thinking off.
I'm not sure. I don't think they're thinking about the future.
Okay.
I think they're thinking about right now. I think Tom Brady had to check to see, hey, you eating avocado ice cream? Or are you eating, Dairy Queen or Grater's?
Sure. Ben & Jerry's.
What is your dirt cake?
Come on.
So good.
Yeah.
It's got a little crack to the top there.
At the top?
Yeah, the top is so good. Can't be having too much of that, obviously.
No.
Get a little too
But
fat.
that's a nice
I'll
little
hurt
treat.
you.
But Pete Carroll at 73 is not doing that.
No.
We would assume he's taking care of himself. Everybody that's been around him said his energy is awesome. Congrats to Pete Carroll getting a job back in the NFL where we assumed he would always be.